If you've been anywhere near BookTok as of late, you've probably heard the phrase intellectualism thrown around like a weapon. I think some might be missing the point. Reading comprehension. And I think that's where the real conversation should be. Our attention spans are shrinking. As a society, we can't seem to focus like we used to. And not just with reading. Now, we must be hooked within the first 3 seconds of a video or topic before we continue our doom scroll onward. Our culture has shifted from engagement to consumption, and that affects the way we read. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, reading is like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you work it. But too often, this muscle atrophies due to a lack of deep focus, critical thinking, and challenge. A mind that is not regularly challenged has no potential to grow past its own boundaries to digest complex material. And when that skill is left unpracticed, the ability to hold nuance in one's mind dwindles. We lose far more than just comprehension. We stop asking questions. And this matters not just for literature, but for how we think and view the world. I'm not saying you have to only read dense Dostoevsky and force yourself through War and Peace, but if those books are what you seek to feel that challenge, by all means, intentionally create a curriculum for yourself that makes sense for your reading goals, while still pushing your difficulty tolerance. Struggle, but don't quit. Struggle is growth. Not just with reading. Online reading culture and BookTok doesn't necessarily need to disappear, but that doesn't mean it can't evolve. Perhaps instead of viewing an easy book as a flaw, build that literacy to know when to put a book down that does nothing for you, and pick up something else more challenging. Every platform competes for our attention because it's been monetized. Choosing to read deeply, with more compassion, with more humanity, with more intelligence, not in the text itself, but in the digestion of it, is how we resist that influence. Books are supposed to slow us down. Reading quiets an anxious mind, and as humans, it is one of the most empathetic practices we can do today. To put ourselves in the minds and shoes of another for a few hundred pages, and witness their story. With the power of social media at a time when it is so easy to voice our opinions so publicly, we must approach reading from a different angle. Perhaps this year's reading challenge isn't how many books you can finish, but how well you could defend a book's message. How often a story made you reflect on some aspect of your own life or existence. What questions did this book rise within you, or perhaps answer for you while reading? The whole purpose of every book ever written is to begin a dialogue. It's our duty as readers to keep up that conversation.